So our week 4 fantasy football ad drop waiver wire live stream. As usual, we're going to break down all the week 3, the previous week NFL games, talk about some of the players who stood out, who struggled, talk about other things as well. Going to do a week 4 fantasy football onward draft as soon as it loads. And going to discuss anything you guys want. Anything goes. You guys, you know the deal. When I'm flying solo, I'll answer anything. Of course, fantasy football questions are always welcome here. We'll answer everything. I keep saying we. I'm used to Kenny being on. Kenny is not on tonight, as you can see. He sends his regards. He apologizes. He says he's not a man of the people tonight, unfortunately, because he had spoiled milk with his protein shake or something. So he had a very bad stomach bug. So hopefully he's okay. He said he was like having just issues all day with that. So we've all been there before, as you know. So anyway, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store. As always, I'm wearing something from the merch store. It is our September is Lust Month t-shirt, so it is September, so it is a good opportunity to get one of these shirts because remember, it's very important. Lust rights are human rights. It's Kenny's website, not this. So we have a bunch of t-shirts here, including the Battle of the Horses t-shirt. You can change the color of these. You can get them long sleeve, hoodie, women's tank top, infant onesie even. We have a hat here. We have mugs. We have our famous apron. We have a 15% off sale right now too. So check that out and then help support us. We have my books here. You can go to Amazon, buy my books. The most recent one is Jerks of the College Years. The first one is a safety and a field goal. So we have one more as well. You can get these and help us out as well. Or just please consider super chats, super stickers. That's really the best way to support the show. Just because, YouTube ads pay nothing. You guys have heard me say that a million times before, but it is true. And I'll keep saying it until it's not true. If suddenly YouTube pays us a lot, then then I'll stop saying it. But it's unfortunately that is the case. We had super chats on Thursday from Dom and also Can't Make an Eagle. In the past, RMAC, he gave us $100 super chat a few weeks ago. Slew John Sanders, you guys have been helpful so much. Just really appreciate you guys and everyone else who's helped us out in the past. A couple of comments here from Patrick. Patrick, shout out to Patrick for recommending BBAI stock, which is now, I think I'm up like 105% on my calls. So thank you, Patrick. And I actually bought another call yesterday too. So that's doing pretty well. I think that one's up like 70%. Following your rankings, I think this is the worst fantasy team I've ever had. London first, Chase Brown, Henderson, Burrow, Hunter, Blue, Tracy Downs, Lawrence. London first is kind of interesting. It's kind of weird. I didn't even get to London, but I don't know. I think London's going to rebound, but the unfortunate thing is that you had Chase Brown and Burrow, and both of them got hurt. Burrow got hurt, and that affected Chase Brown. So Henderson is he took over the starting role in the second half last week against the Patriots. We'll get to that game. But Stevenson fumbled twice, and then Gibson fumbled, and I feel like Mike Vrabel is he's just being so stubborn with this. It's so dumb. I said this during my short video on I think it was last night when I did my power rankings. And I was like, why do these coaches not play these talented rookies? I know they're just rookies, but it's not like the veterans are making mistakes. It's not like the veterans are mistake-free. Like Stevenson's fumbling twice. Like, you could do better with Henderson. And I think that maybe Vrabel kind of saw the light in the second half. So Henderson can at least get going for you. Hunter has been a big disappointment. He doesn't even know where to line up. I think that's all on Liam Cohen. I don't understand what Liam Cohen's doing either. Like, he just drafted this guy number 2 overall, and he has no plan for him. That's just dreadful. Blue is not even active. Tracy got hurt, unfortunately. Downs has been banged up. Lawrence is terrible. He just stinks. I don't know what's going on with him. So I'm sorry for your team, Patrick. I wish I could have helped you out with the same way you helped me out with BBAI. I scored 44 points in half PPR. Never been more embarrassed with football this year. At least you can forget about it. But like I said, you have Henderson coming on, so maybe you'll be a little bit more competitive. BBA is legit. They got another new Navy contract. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Do you have any price target for that? I know it's like hard to have a price target for that kind of stuff, but was kind of curious if you had one, just to kind of know. Because I've called. I don't have any. I don't have any shares. I just have calls. I think I have like $4 calls and $5 calls. Like I don't do like out of the money calls. I just do like deep in the money for the most part, where you don't have any theta decay. I just think that's the best way to trade. But yeah, I would love to know that. So thank you again, Patrick, for that. Ryan Tampa, should I be trading off neighbors? Their schedule the next few weeks is brutal. Yeah, I mean, the Giants' schedule all year is brutal. They have Jackson Dart, though, so that could help. But remember with neighbors, he has this toe issue that is not going to go away. He even said it's not going to go away. So it depends what you get. Like, I wouldn't trade him for like 50 cents on the dollar or anything like that. Like, try to get it and even trade for him if you want to deal him. But he's going to have some big games as well. So if so, any trade ideas? Well, I mean, try to get someone in the first round, I think. What you could do is wait for him to have another big game and then trade him. Like, don't sell low because you just had a bad game. Just wait for him to have a big game and then trade him. I think Chase Brown still sucks. It reminds me of Jeremy Langford. Yeah, I mean, he's not like a great talent. He was just in a great position. Like anyone with Burrow in that offense would do pretty well. So now he's not in a good position because Burrow's injured. So, and there's nothing really that could have been done about that. How do you feel about Fannin going forward? I feel fine with Fannin as long as Flacco's starting. The problem is the Browns are going to stink this year, despite them winning against the Packers. Like, they're not going to be that good of a team. So once they realize that they're out of the playoff mix, they're going to go to Dylan Gabriel or Shador Sanders, and then Fannin's value would take a hit. So that's why I'm kind of wary to take on any Browns players, just because you know that sort of stuff's going to happen. Hard to trade Evans for DK. Think that's a good trade. Oh, had to. Yeah, if you got DK, yeah. I mean, Evans is out. He's out for 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah, I think that's a good trade. Hi, would you trade BTJ, Josh Jacobs, Travis Hunter for Amon-Ra, Judkins, and Scatabo? So I would say like Jacobs and Amon-Ra is like pretty even. Hunter's not really doing anything, but he could. I don't know. I think you're giving up too much here. Like BTJ and Jacobs, they're both I know BTJ is not doing great right now, but he's still. You'll see when I do this onward draft right now, which is about to start. The reason I do this draft is kind of like to show you guys where the value is for these players, and you'll see BTJ is still going to go like 3rd round. So you're basically like Jacobs going 2nd, BTJ is going 3rd, Hunter's going like 10th, and then you got Amon-Ra going 2nd, so that's a wash for Jacobs. Judkins is going like 5th, and Scatabo is going 5th. So you're basically trading like a 3rd and the 10th for 2 5ths. I think I'd rather have the 3rd, you know what I mean? But like if you're really hurting for running back and you're taking on 2 running backs here, then I think it makes sense. But it's not a lopsided trade or anything like that. It kind of makes sense, but it's not like I don't think it's a great trade either. Aloha, keep one, Doodle, Wicks. We call him Doodle here. Wicks, Thornton, Burden, McNichols. I think this McNichols stuff is kind of nonsense. Probably him. Yeah, I think McNichols. Although with Wicks, Jane Reed is going to be back in 5 to 7 weeks, so eventually you might want to cut Wicks instead. So I think it's either Wicks or McNichols, depending on which position you need more. Sue says my receivers are Thomas, Sutton, Ibuka, Pearsall, Addison, and Thornton. I guess I'm sitting Thomas until Lawrence pulls his head of his arse. Yeah, I think so. I mean, Ibuka is now the receiver 1. Sutton, Pearsall, yeah, they're great. Addison's coming back, so yeah, I agree with that. So, okay, so I only have shares in BBAI, to be honest, but double digits should be possible at some point for sure. Yeah, it's at $8, so yeah, that's close. Market cap, as many multiples, revenue 2.96 billion market cap. Okay, yeah, so yeah, hopefully, yeah, 10 would be great. 15 would be stellar. Hopefully we get that. Trying to sell high on Pollard's, upgrade my receivers. That's a good idea because Spears is coming back in 2 weeks, I think. So I'm going to be up on the clock here. Robson Taylor's been going 1 or 2, which is kind of interesting. Bijan goes. We'll see. Probably gonna end up with Gibbs, or I don't really want to take McCaffrey, as you guys know. I strongly dislike McCaffrey here. But I just don't think he's going to be durable. So I'm actually going to pull this up on my app so I get alerted when my picks are up. So there we go. McCaffrey went. So I'm going to take Jahmyr Gibbs. So yeah, here we go. 5 running backs to start this draft. So I'm gonna pop in the app so I kind of know what's going on here. Okay, so Nakua is the first receiver going off the board with Lamb injured. Okay, so yeah, trying to sell high on Pollard. Comparing Pollard, Shakir, Tyreek or Sutton. Yeah, maybe. I think so. It's possible. Why not? You might as well try it, right? But yeah, I think I'll try to do that. Dubs or Sharps, happy PR this week. I think I would go Sharps. He's practicing fully, so you don't have to worry about his injury anymore. Danny Dimes or Fields. If Fields plays, I like Fields against that horrible Miami defense. Jones has a tougher matchup. Giddens and Bigsby by a hold 14 team PPR. I don't know about Bigsby, just because he's spelling only special teams, So that's a concern. Shipley, when he comes back, is gonna be RB2. So I don't really think Shipley's a hold. I think Giddens is though. Patrick says, glad I got back into individual stock trading this year, going long companies up over 50% on NVIDIA, Tesla, BBAI up almost 20% just a few weeks on UNH. Yeah, I bought calls. No, sorry. I bought a call on UNH the day before Buffett. That news broke on Buffett. That was incredible. That was such a good return. But I was kicking myself because I only bought one call. I was going to buy like 2 or 3. That would have been awesome had I bought 2 or 3. But one was good. But still, it was risky though because it was kind of like a binary event because you didn't know if you bought like UNH or something else. But on an average week is selling high. What are you referring to? Who signals for a fair catch at the 10, moves backyards and makes the catch instead of letting the ball go? Who does that? Surely not a professional punt returner. Yeah, a guy named Sky Moore. First of all, what kind of name is Sky Moore? Like, it's ridiculous. But yeah, that Niners loss is such a brutal defeat. Like, man, they if it wasn't for the safety, they would have won. And then they would have covered, I should say. And then Nick Bosa got hurt in the first quarter. Like, we've had the worst luck with these major injuries in the first quarter. Like, we had Jalen Carter first game, Xavier Worthy. He's not as great as Carter and Bosa, but he's still the top receiver on the Chiefs. He gets hurt in the second game of the year, and then Nick Bosa gets hurt in the first quarter. I know we benefited from some injuries too, but like nothing crazy like that. So that's unfortunate. So I'm about to be up in the clock. You might see Rome Odunze his ADP is now 22 overall. That's a little rich for my blood. I think what the best strategy for these drafts is to take players lower than their ADP was originally, and I've done really well with that so far in the week 3 onward drafts. All my teams are 5th or higher. Like, most of my teams are 3rd or higher, and you need top 2. Some of my teams are 1st and 2nd. So I don't have any teams worse than 5th. I don't think. I think I might have one 6th. Brian Thomas goes. So I'm about to break my own rule. But I explained this last week with Lamar Jackson. It's because quarterbacks go earlier in these onward drafts because or they should go earlier because the quarterbacks you kind of knew were great values in like rounds 9 through 11 are going to go earlier. Like Justin Herbert, for example. Like Kenny talks about all the time with Herbert, how he drafted him like round 11. Herbert's going like round 6 or even around 5 in these drafts. So you can't get those great values at quarterback anymore. So I think it's just better off to go just take like the best guy here, and it's Lamar Jackson. So yeah, I mean, if you look at second round, Justin Jefferson to 203, if I could have gotten him, that would have been awesome. Lamar Jackson, obviously, I think is going to benefit. And plus, Baltimore has such an easy playoff schedule. It's ridiculous. Like, their playoff schedule is so easy. So we're going to get into schedule stuff too as well later on in the show. But yeah, Odunze sticks out like a sore thumb at 206. I love Odunze, but round 2, it's a little rich for my blood at 206. And then I don't know. Someone's taking CeeDee Lamb at 210. He's out for 4 weeks. Like, what is that? Ibuka 211. I get it, but it's still a little too early. As much as I love him, a little too early. Even if Evans is hurt. Keep one. Thornton Doodle Burden. Nice. So keep one. Man, I still like Thornton, I guess. It depends if you need a running back. Like Doodle makes sense because he's going to take over for Hubbard if Hubbard gets hurt. So there's definitely some value there. But I don't know. It's a tough call. Depend if you need running back more, I keep Doodle. If you need receiver more, I go Thornton. Burden is still playing behind Zacchaeus, and there's a lot of mouths to feed in Chicago. He just had a big game. Like it's a perfect sell high. I would try to trade Burden if you can, just off that sell high. I don't know if anyone's gonna take him, but I think it's definitely worth a shot if you can. Okay, I'm about to be up in 2 picks, but I can. Team is Love Gibbs. I think. Wait, did you ask anything before that? No. Team Love Gibbs, Bucky, Nico, Myers, mentioned Scott, BTJ, JMO, Moore, Charbonnet, Harvey. Offered Hurts and Olave for Love and BTJ. I would like to get rid of Olave for sure, but I don't really like Love all that much in fantasy, and BTJ is really struggling with Lawrence. So I think I would keep Hurts actually. I try to get something better for that. Okay, Kyron Williams goes. I'm about to be up in 1 pick. I know who I'm going to take if he's there. Actually, it's really down to 3 players. There's 3 players I really like here. London. So London goes. He was one of the 3. I'm going to take AJ Brown, who was going 2nd round in drafts before the hamstring injury. Now he's going 3rd. He's healthy now. So like, why is he going 3rd round? Why is the Doomsday going around earlier than Brown? That makes no sense. Plus the Eagles have a favorable playoff schedule. So anyway, if the Bills lose Allen and Cook in the first quarter and Oliver and Milano don't play this week, will they still beat the Saints? Yeah, well, they'll beat the Saints. They just won't cover, unfortunately, but they'll still win. Start 2, Hunter, Wicks, Tootin, Io Manor. Man, that's rough. I think I start Tootin, and like I don't know. I don't think I think Io Manor at this point. I mean, no. I think I don't want to give up on Hunter. I think he's just too good. No, I'm offered Hurts. Okay, yeah. I would do that then. So happy about Bosa. Why happy about Bosa? Come on, man. You shouldn't root for injuries. That's not nice. Trade Devontae and Kroski for Neighbors. If you can, yeah, I would do that. Yeah. But like we don't like Kroski's not really handling the full workload there. So I missed a few picks here. Hampton's still 3rd round. Judkins is now going round 3. Talk about overreaction there. The other guys I like is still available somehow. So I would love for him to get to me at 408. I don't know if that's going to happen, but all right, let's see here. Any other questions? Actually, I think we're all caught up. So, let's look at this. Rashi Rice goes 401 now. That 6-game suspension is now only 3 games. So, I think that's a little too early. I think I would take him in like round 5. 401 seems a little too early for me. McConkey, by the way, 312. That's later than he's gone. And Genty might stick out 311. It's quite the fall for Genty, who's just getting no blocking. He's dead last in the NFL in yards before contact. He's just getting hit in the backfield over and over again. And it's a shame. You kind of feel bad for him, although he'll be in a good situation eventually. So I wouldn't be too worried about that if you're like a big Genty fan. But it's I don't understand what the Raiders did. Like they had a chance at Membu, and that would have just made any running back good on the team. And they took Genty. Look, Genty's a fantastic talent, but although despite me saying that, like he's still not on the level of Bijan or Jahmyr Gibbs. Like Charlie even said that if Genty was in the same draft as Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs, Genty would have gone 3rd behind those 2 guys. So he was not like this elite talent at receiver. Okay, at running back. Sorry. So Garrett Wilson goes. I just got distracted. Garrett Wilson goes. That was the guy I wanted. So unfortunately, I need a second running back, and I don't quite have one available. I could take like Chase Brown, someone who falls, but his situation is just so much worse than it was before. I'm going to take Tetero and McMillan. I didn't like this guy in the draft during the summer when we were drafting, but he's going to have a lot of garbage time. He's looked pretty good. I still don't like his long-term potential just because he said he doesn't love football. I quite kind of question if he's going to work hard to improve his game. But right now he looks good, and the Panthers are going to have a lot of garbage time, so I don't mind taking him here. And this does not violate my rule because he was going around this area. I just don't like him at this spot. So, yeah, so Garrett Wilson. Yeah, Garrett Wilson's the other guy I wanted here. The Jets have I think the easiest schedule in the fantasy playoffs, and the easiest schedule overall, as I'll show you later. Okay, so let's see. I didn't root for it. It happened. Me happy, smirking. But like, why don't you? Why are you happy about that? Aren't you a Vikings fan? Like, what does Niners have to do with it? Okay, fellow degenerate gambles. At the All-Star break, the Tigers are minus 30,000 to win the division. The Cleveland Indians were 151 not to win at all, just the division. Cleveland's now first place. Wow, seriously? That's incredible. Did you bet it? I hope you did. That's awesome. Keenan Allen, by the way, 412. That's something. I like Allen. 412's I don't know, a touch too early. Maybe I could see taking him in the 6th round, 4th round, 412. I don't know. I had Sutton start as one of my picks potentially here. Pearsall too. So as as I usually experience in my drafts, the guys I want always get taken a few picks before me. But I don't know. I think that it's so much easier to draft this at night, not like 11 o'clock, but like 2 or 3 a.m. just because like it feels like people are like half asleep and not really paying attention to what they're doing, and you get like a lot of auto drafters and stuff like that, so that really helps, and it just feels like my teams are just better at night when I do this at night. So I wanted Sutton, I wanted Pearsall, I wanted Pickens. They're all gone. I'm looking at one other receiver, and I don't think he's going to get taken just because the circumstance that he's in, and the circumstance being that he just stinks right now, and he had a bad game. He had a great week 1 though. Maybe not great, but he had a really good week 1, and he was going 3rd round. So if he's here, it's going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. I think this is a good buy low in like the 5th round. So we'll see what this guy does. Yeah, he took Tyreek Hill. I'm just going to take Marvin Harrison Jr. Like I said, buy low situation. So we'll see what happens there. NFC. Well, the Niners weren't going to be much of a factor. I don't know. I think it's like bad karma to root for injuries with Tyson. I don't think it's a good idea. The Tigers, Indians, caper is why Walt's Football took a shot on the A's, I believe. Yeah, except I like the A's. They obviously have bad pitching. Well, I say obviously, most I guess some people might not know. But they had Nick Kurtz, who came on. They call him the what do they call him? I'm drawing a blank, but the Amish, the Amish something, the Amish, I forget what they call him. Anyway, it is they call him that. He's just a big power hitter. He's really bolstered the lineup, but he got hurt, so like that kind of. That kind of ended that run because they were doing they're doing pretty well for a while. The Big Amish, it's called Big Amish. They were doing pretty well for a while, and then they kind of like they were always like second to last place, but they kind of rose up to like the middle of the pack of like the wild card race, and then he got hurt, so that was unfortunate. So that kind of goes with the the theme here that we have in this NFL season, which is just bad beat after bad beat this year. It's been all, I can't remember a year like this. I already talked about the injuries already. Week 2, we had 3 last minute drives. So I guess Carolina, Arizona wasn't last minute, but it's close enough. We had 3 close to last minute drives that covered the spread for the other side. Like we had Jacksonville plus 3.5. Like they were leading the whole game, and then they got beat at the end. And part of that was because Liam Cohen was an idiot and decided to go for it on 4th and 5 instead of kicking a field goal. And then we had Houston, Tampa Monday night. Obviously, I don't like, we know what happened there, but like, of the 3, I feel like we didn't really deserve to win that one, but it was also our lowest bet of the 3. And then Arizona Carolina. That was Arizona's leading 27-3 is the 6.5-point favorite. And then they allowed 3 touchdowns in the second half, and they didn't score anything themselves. They finished 27-22. The last drive where they allowed the backdoor cover, they surrendered a 4th and 16 pass to someone named Bryson Tremaine. I'd never heard of this guy before. So that was it's been pretty painful so far. I was looking at Travion Henderson too. So our running backs are pretty sketchy right now, which is unfortunate. I usually try to get like 2 really good running backs in the first 3 rounds. It just didn't work out this time. I was hoping that Breece Hall would come back in the 4th round, just because, like I said, the Jets have a very easy schedule, yeah, unfortunately that didn't come to fruition. I usually do get him at around 408. Like, I've done 4 drafts so far. 4 drafts. I've done 5 drafts. I've done 5 drafts so far. No, I think this is my 6th. So I've concluded 5 drafts so far in these week 4 onward drafts, and I've gotten Breece Hall back to me like almost every single time, and I picked 5, 6, 5. I want to say 9 and now 5. So I picked 5 3 times in 6. So I'm kind of used to this range, and I've gotten Hall every single time except for this time. So that didn't work out. But I don't want to take Dobbins. I think I will take. This guy's all right. This guy's been doing pretty well. I'm going to take Tony Pollard here. It's a little earlier than he was going in the summer, but not too bad. Not like reaching like 2nd round of Dunze or something like that. Let's see here. Pickens, Tataroa, or Jacoby. Got to start 2 of them. I can't decide. Would have sat Pickens against the Packers, but Lamb is out. Okay. Yeah, I get it. So I would say I think the first 2. I think Pickens, Tataroa, McMillan, they're just better. Jacoby Myers is, he's a good player, but he's not like a great player. Whereas like Pickens is a phenomenal talent, and McMillan, obviously, if it's a 1st round pick, you could say that. With Jacoby Myers, he's just really good. Like he's a coach's dream. He doesn't drop any passes. He didn't drop a single pass last year. Jacoby versus Bears could be a big game for him. It could be, but like, what if it's a Brock Bowers game? What if Geno Smith's finally gonna have time in the pocket? Maybe he's finally gonna find Tyquan Thornton, Dante Thornton for like a big gains downfield. That could definitely happen. So, I don't think it necessarily has to be Myers. Like, Myers is kind of like the safety valve. If Geno's under pressure, he's going to go to Myers, but the Bears don't pressure the quarterback, so he just may not look that way. So I think I would stick with the first 2 that you mentioned. So anyway, find it interesting that well, first of all, Mahomes is still going 6 or 7, but like someone took Mike Evans at 6'10". He's usually going 4th round, and now he's out 3 to 4 weeks. I just don't quite understand. I guess it was the same guy who took Lamb, so he just might be an auto draft at this point. So I am going to be up here in the 7th round. I already have my quarterback. I have 2 running backs. I have 3 receivers. I would like to get a 4th receiver. And I'm kind of wondering about Terry McLaurin. I know he's going to be out this week, but if it's only 1 week, it should be fine. And 7th round seems like a good value for him. Or I can go with like Jordan Addison or something, but Addison could be available later. So I already have 3 receivers, I don't necessarily need McLaurin for this week. So I'm gonna take the value with McLaurin right now and just see what happens. But I have something spicy cooked up for round 8. As you'll be able to see, there's kind of like a cheat code here. In these week 4 onward drafts that I'll show you. So nope. What is nope? Oh, you didn't bet it. That sucks. Yeah, I stood to win $20,000. I stood to win $30,000 on my $20 athletics bet. Unfortunately, that didn't come to fruition. Any idea how Tomlin or O'Connell have fared across the pond, straight up NATS? Well, O'Connell's only had 1 game, so he won and he won outright and covered against the Jets last year. Tomlin, I'm not sure. I can maybe look it up. Steelers done in Europe. It's obviously going to be a small sample size. Steelers are, looks like they are, they're 2-1, but one game was in 1997, so that was not Tomlin. And the Steelers, that was in preseason. Okay, so it looks like the Steelers are 1-1 overseas. I don't know what ATS it is, but like that's such a small sample size. I don't know if you can get anything out of it. Yeah, higher upside for sure with Pickens and Ted. Yeah, look, I mean, Myers gives you a higher floor, so if you could kind of like mix and match if you think like you need one guy with upside and one guy with a higher floor, then you could do that. Or if you just like if you think that you're going to be outscored, like if there's my cheat code. There's so much for that. Kittle goes 8th round. Yeah, Kittle is he's only out for like 1 or 2 more weeks. And he's going 8th round. So I've been getting him every time in the 8th round, but I guess someone caught on to that too. It just doesn't make sense for him to be going that far. I think Tajay Spears is another one who's going too late. Who could still be a good value. So I kind of had to figure out something else to do in the 8th round. Now that my schemes are or just kind of beaten there. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I could probably find someone else to take. I actually mentioned the guy I'm kind of eyeing right now in the 8th round, although I do wonder if I should go with a running back just because it's kind of sketchy, my running back situation, but I think I can still take a 5th receiver just because McLaurin is uncertain for this week and maybe next week. We'll see how long he's out. Yeah, but like I said, yeah, Kittle was out. He was out for 4 weeks after week 1. So after week 5, he comes back. So he's out for 2 more weeks, I think. All right, I'm going to take Jordan Addison. So Jordan Addison's ADP makes no sense. He was going 7th or 8th round, usually 8th round, when it was announced that his suspension was 3 games. And now those 3 games are over. There's no suspension anymore, and he's still going 8th round. Like someone can explain that to me? Like I don't get it. I know the quarterback situation is not great with McCarthy, but Wentz was better predictably last week. So I don't quite understand that one. So I'm hoping that my running back that I like is still going to be available, and that is kind of a cheat code as well. So Sue says, why wouldn't the Vikings get to play at least one of their foreign games in Norway? They are the Vikings after all. Yeah, they definitely should. I don't know what Roger Goodell has against Norwegian people, but you would think that maybe Norway, or Denmark, something like that. Sweden, even like any of those countries would make sense. But no, Roger Goodell hates those people and only likes unlike people in what is it? England, Ireland, Germany, and I guess Brazil. So I don't know. I hate these international games. I said I'm going to boycott them, and I'm serious about that. I'm not going to watch this live. I will watch it on replay later. I guess like when I get up, I'll watch it too. I'm not waking up for this trash. I'm done with these games. I hate these games so much. I'm groggy the whole day. It's so early for me. I operate on West Coast time. I'm not on the West Coast, but I operate on West Coast time. That makes any sense. Zach Charbonnet is my cheat code here. So Charbonnet. Okay, this is another one. Charbonnet was going 7th round or so in week 3 onward, and he was going 8th rounds in the summer. And we've seen him split touches evenly with Walker. Charbonnet is healthy now. He's not on the injury report. Let me make sure. Yeah, he was listed full on Monday, so he's not on the injury report anymore. And he's going 9th round. Like what is that? Like that makes no sense to me at all. So I am aggressively taking Charbonnet here. Drake May is another guy like in the 9th round too. So could have gone. Maybe he's going to go on Charbonnet May, but I already have Lamar Jackson, so I wasn't really sweating May. If I didn't have Jackson, I would have taken May at like maybe even 8th round just to be safe. I really love Drake May. His schedule is very easy too, as we'll see soon. F these retarded. I think I said that. International games. F you, Goodell. Yeah, he's globalist trash. Roger Goodell. He just selling out Americans to kind of fuel his globalism. Just really just make money. It's just a huge money laundering scheme for Goodell. I can't stand that guy. As you guys know, I mean, maybe some of you haven't heard this, but he banned me. Goodell banned me from the combine. Both me and Charlie. I don't know why Charlie didn't do anything. Like at least let Charlie go. And I wasn't actually even applying to go to the combine. Charlie was, and we were told that Roger Goodell was not a fan of me because I called him a douche for how he hid the Ray Rice video from people. Roger Goodell, not a fan of WalterFootball.com, unfortunately. Okay, so with this draft, you might have just seen Travis Hunter go 9th round. I took him in the 12th round in one draft. I was like, I kind of like forgot about him, and I saw him like, what is Travis Hunter still doing on the board in the 12th round? That doesn't make any sense. 9th round here makes a little more sense. I would have considered him at 10:08 for sure. I do need a second quarterback. You definitely want more than one quarterback, a good quarterback in these drafts, and actually you want 3, just because it's best ball, and if one guy gets hurt, then you're really going to be up against it. So you just really need to make sure you have multiple good players at each position, even tight end. Like I just didn't want draft where I took 4 tight ends because I had Kittle. So I'm like, for the next 2 weeks, Kittle's not going to play. So I just really want to make sure I'm pretty set the position. Trey Tucker went. I posted an image on X where it showed that some guy took Trey Tucker in the 7th round, and I just went LOL. like what is that? Anyway, so I want to take my backup quarterback here. It's one of 2 guys. One is safer, one is more upside, and I think with Jackson, I can try to go with more upside, and is Justin Fields, who will be back, I assume, this week, and we saw what he could do week 1. Fields went nuts. He went 29.5 points. He can actually outscore Jackson, whereas like Purdy's the other one I was considering, and he's going to be like 15 to 22 points per week, So that's usually not going to beat out Jackson. So I think it makes sense for Fields. And like I said, the Jets have such an easy schedule. It's just a shame that I couldn't pair Fields with either Hall or Wilson, which I have been doing. I mean, just keep that in mind. Like if you're going to trade for people like try to get some Jets players. The Ravens have an easy schedule too. So definitely keep that in mind. Drop Keishon Butte for Ollie Gordon or Trey Tucker, or keep Butte. I like Butte more than Tucker. If you really need running back, maybe Gordon, but I think I would rather have Butte at this point than Gordon. So, all right, so we're moving fast here. The tight end I like, there's a bunch of tight ends got taken. The tight end I like is still on the board. The guy I was considering in the 10th round if I didn't need a quarterback. So I don't Ollie Gordon just won 1103 for the person asking that question. So just kind of like be able to gauge the value of these players. That's why I think these drafts are important. Plus there's $20,000 to first place. So that kind of that's kind of important too. All right, we'll see if this guy drafting 11th or 4th takes my tight end, which I don't know. He might. I don't know if I don't think he's had the tight end yet. No, he has no tight end. Jay Dassey. Naturally, he takes my tight end, Hawkinson. So anyway, whatever. I'll take Andrews just because, like I said, the Ravens have such an easy schedule at the end. Okay, I think we had. Do we have another question? They need an international game in Italy. No, we don't need any more international games. We just need them all here. When it was 1 in the afternoon, that's fine. I didn't care. When they went to like 2 and they had like 1 in the morning, that started to get annoying. But I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And then they put both in the morning, and that really pissed me off. That's kind of like, at that point, it just kind of made me mad. And then they went to 3 in the morning, and that was brutal. I hated it so much. And now there's 7 early games. I'm not waking up for this trash. I'm just not. I can't stand this stuff. So if we boycott this crap, maybe it'll end. Probably not, because Goodell's gets big contracts, but we could at least try. So anyway, I thought while you do this, I thought I'd get into these games. We had Bills 31, Dolphins 21 from last week. We had just James Cook having a great game against Miami's horrible defense. Josh Allen only misfired 6 times, and yet they didn't cover. The Dolphins had some offensive success with no Milano, no Oliver. I didn't take those injuries into too much consideration just because I was so down on Miami. I was just like not convinced that they could cover, but they did. Devon Achane, this is brutal because we had his over 39 and a half receiving yards. He had 29. We had 7 catches. So if we bet his over receptions, that would have hit. Hill, Kenny and I had a big argument about Tyreek Hill. So he caught a touchdown. So that's the positive. The downside is he had only 5 for 49. So if he didn't catch a touchdown, that would have been a brutal game for him. So I think like HN is still the only guy that you can really depend on this team. All right. So I'm about to be up on the clock again here. And probably should be paying attention more to this. So we have 2 quarterbacks, 3 running backs, 5 receivers. So really anything's open except for a quarterback at this point. I could take one of these running backs or there's not. I like receiver a little bit later. Don't really need to take one now. I'm going to take Tyler Algier right now, just because if Bijan goes down, this is going to be a league winner for me. And he's doing work anyway. Like week 2, he had 15 fantasy points, so he can get there even if Bijan doesn't go down. So it's a good backup to have, a good RB4, I think, just because he has like RB1.5 potential. I think if Bijan goes down, where does he go? Like 2nd, 3rd round. So it's something you definitely want in these high upside drafts. Although the week X onward drafts aren't as like, you don't really need to stack as much as you do in the regular one, because in the regular one where it's like a 2 million to first, when you get to week 17, you have to take on 1,000 other people. In this, it's only 8 other people. Actually, no, it's 1 of 8. So it's only 7 other people. So you don't really need the upside at any point. But I guess like, when you're accumulating points all year, you still want high upside guys too. So Algier, it makes a lot of sense. Although, I will say here that I'm more likely to take like role players. Like I've taken Kenneth Gainwell, for example, in like the 16th round or so, just because, and I wouldn't have done that during the summer because he doesn't have upside. But when you don't need as much upside here, I think taking guys with higher floors who can, at least fill some lineup spots at some point during bye weeks, I think that's kind of equally important too. So, but like I said, it's a late round thing or whatever. So, so I've taken my 4th running back, not opposed to taking a 5th one here, but I don't really see anyone. I'm always interested to. Well, actually, there's one guy I like, and we can have a good laugh at it, and have actually a good cry too. It's between 1 running back and 1 receiver right now, but I have 5 receivers and 4 running backs, and I feel like my running backs situation is more sketchy. So I think I need a little bit more running back help. So actually there's 2 running backs I like. One I mentioned earlier, so maybe he'll come back to us. But yeah, I'll discuss that if we see him go. Aaron Jones, by the way, went 1303, which he's out for a few more weeks. Jordan Mason is going so early, but once Jones comes back, it's not like Jones is going to go away. So where did Mason go? I think that's an interesting topic to discuss. Yeah, 302. Like that's gonna be great for this guy for like the next 3 or so weeks. Like Jones is out for how long? I think he's just out for 4 weeks in general. It's just a hamstring. I'm just a hamstring like that. Those could always act up and everything, but still, I think 302 is kind of rough when Jones comes back. So I'm going to take, here we go. This is the sad pick. I'm going to take Brian Robinson Jr. As you guys know, I was taking Garendo around this range the entire summer. And then the Niners magically trade for Robinson for some reason. I don't know why. I think Garendo is better than Robinson, but apparently he's not. So I was going to take Bateman as the other receiver. Like, as I said, the Ravens have an easy schedule, and Bateman has, it's a good pairing with Lamar Jackson. And I needed a 6th receiver, but I think I needed a 5th running back more than a 6th receiver. So anyway, the the way the Browns defense is playing seems to me they're going to give the Lions fits, especially with the Lions coming off a huge win and short week. And you're right up. You didn't bite on the 8.5, bite on +10. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like just so confused by this Lions situation. Although in the back of my head, I'm like, well, think about it this way. The Raiders also won in Baltimore last September. So, like, just one game doesn't mean all that much, but the way the Lions played against Lamar Jackson was really good. So I'm kind of like tilted at this point with Cleveland, Detroit. So I don't know. I think I'm probably just going to pass on the game. I don't know. Maybe if I talk to Evan and Andy and Tom, and they all love Cleveland, they talk me into it. Maybe I'll do it that way. So maybe after I have these conversations with those guys, we'll see them on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Maybe I will. I'll feel better about it. The other running back I was talking about was Tajay Spears. He's going 1402. Before he got hurt, he was going 11th round. So this is a 3-round discount. Spears is, I think he's due back in like 2 weeks or so. So, like once he returns, he's going to take some work as well. He's not going to take everything, and I'm still comfortable taking Pollard in the 6th round, as you guys just saw. But Spears is he is someone who's going to get some touches. So I think that he's worth taking the 14th round. And I have to make a pick here. So what I think I'm going to do is so this, hold on. I'm deciding between two guys here. So I'm gonna take. I haven't really drafted this guy, Tyquan Thornton. He's been improving every week. He had 5 catches. He had 5 catches for 71 and a touchdown. Now, when Rashee Rice comes back, maybe he doesn't do as much, but he's still the deep threat. Like, he's not going to lose his role. I think Xavier Worthy loses his role more than anything with Rashee Rice coming back. But Tyquan Thornton is, he was doing good stuff in training camp, and there was excitement about him, and he keeps getting better and better. So why not take a shot in the 14th round? Maybe he just doesn't do anything with Worthy and Rice, but I'm pretty skeptical about Worthy staying healthy. Plus Rice could always get in trouble too. So I don't know. Sandra says, Walt, Andy would lose his mind if he saw that you wrote that Tampa Bay being 45 and 76 against the spread at home. I am going to I'll bring that up to him tomorrow and see what he says for sure. That is a wild stat, isn't it? Like, why are they so bad at home? That just doesn't make any sense to me. Is Grendo a drop? Unfortunately, yeah, because they have Robinson. If they trade for Robinson, he'll be awesome to have now. But they trade for Robinson, so he doesn't have a role right now. Now, if and when McCaffrey goes down, he's gonna be the RB2 again. And what if Robinson gets hurt? There's still a path for Grendo to have a big year at the end of the season, or some big games. But you need a lot of things to happen at this point. And just I was the biggest Grendo guy in the world, and now just can't really draft him at this point. So I was considering a tight end at 14 away, and he's still there. So I mean, obviously there's no tight end taken, but this guy is also available at a discount. The tight end I was talking about, and I have Andrews, and he's not the safest guy. I paired him with Jackson, so that was nice. But there goes Gainwell. I talked about him before. De'Ami Brown, he's been going 17th, 18th round. I've been taking him there. He's quietly putting together a decent year. 8.8, 17.6. Here he got hurt for only 2.7. He got hurt early. But he's the third receiver on that team, and really sometimes the second receiver if Hunter doesn't play a lot. So I feel like people aren't really caught on to him. So yeah, kind of I like him a little bit in the later rounds, but not 15th round. It feels like that's a little too early because you can still take some really good players here. But he's one of those higher floor guys. Chiggy's not the one I wanted. I wanted Colston Loveland. I know he got a little banged up here. Let's see what the report says. So yeah, avoided severe injury, has a chance to shoot up to Sunday. Loveland was going 10th or 11th round, probably 11th round in the summer. And now he's going 1505. It just seems like such a good value to me. This is what I'm talking about. You can get guys with great value here. If you look at my team, Like Gibbs is obviously first round. Jackson was maybe around this range in regular fantasy. But then you have like Brown, who's going second round. McMillan, same range. Harrison was going third round. Pollard about the same. McLaurin was going fourth round. Addison was going at this round with the suspension. Charbonnet was going eighth round. So I got him around earlier. Fields about the same. Andrews was going seventh round, I think, or eighth round. I know Kenny was taking him a lot. I think probably like eighth round. Algier probably same spot. Robinson same spot. But like Loveland, 11th round. So I got some really good values with these guys. Just based on where they were going in the summer. And I think that's how you have to approach this. Like, don't take a Dunze in the second round. Don't take Mason at 302. Don't take Ibuka as much as I like him. Don't take him at, where'd he go, 211. Like, I just think that's just too much of a haircut for values. So that is not what I'd recommend doing for these. And like I said, there's $20,000 on the line for first place. I think second place is $6,000. So hopefully take one of the prizes home. But knowing my luck this year is probably not going to happen. All right, next game here we have Panthers 30, Falcons 0. Like if you ever hear anyone say, teams don't mail it in, teams don't look ahead, just point to this game in the future, just please. The Falcons did not show up to this game at all. They thought they could win against Carolina easily just because they won on national TV. They beat the Vikings, a big deal, like whatever. They probably partied hard. They showed up. They just were completely flat, and they just got beaten in every aspect. Even though they lost 30-0, like the Panthers, I don't think they even gained 250 yards of offense. So don't really think Carolina did anything impressive here. It was just Atlanta just being completely inept. Penix threw 2 interceptions. He could have threw 5. Like, he was so bad. So I don't think I'd take anything into account here. All the Atlanta players are buy lows as far as I'm concerned. I mean, nothing really to say about Carolina. It's kind of interesting how McMillan didn't do much this week compared to the other weeks where he was playing in garbage time. That's why I said before, like, McMillan needs garbage time, but we know the Panthers are awful, so there's definitely going to be a lot of garbage time for them. We just didn't see it this week. Okay, I'm going to be up soon. Now, I took some higher floor guys, I think. Well, maybe not really. Maybe I could do that later, but there's one guy I'm eyeing here. I need a third quarterback at some point, but there's really no one available. Like, McCarthy's the highest guy for ADP, and I don't really want JJ McCarthy, so I'm going to avoid that situation. And Dante Thornton just went, so he was one of the two guys I was considering. The other guy is kind of like the same deal. He's a rookie with high upside, Isaac Tesla. He didn't do anything Monday night, but he's like someone who just catches a long touchdown here and there. And if one of JMO or St. Brown goes down, like, he's going to have a much higher role. And Detroit's coaches even talked about getting him more involved. So I think, like, second half of the year, like after his bye, maybe like week 9 onward, I think he's going to really have some really good games. He's too talented not to be a factor. But Thornton is someone you could look at too. So I said I didn't want a quarterback. This guy took Rattler. Is he on auto draft? Like, why? He has 4 quarterbacks already. He has as many quarterbacks as running backs. He has Rattler, Geno, Browning, and Purdy. This is like he has 4 quarterbacks, and like only one of them is good. None of them are great. So yeah, I don't quite understand what this guy was doing. Early on, McCaffrey, Irving, like he has some good players, but I don't quite understand. So his running backs are McCaffrey, Irving, Hubbard, Kroski. Okay, so that's not bad for having 4, but still, you shouldn't have as many quarterbacks as running backs this late in the draft. That's a little crazy. So I'm about to be up in a few picks again. Still don't like the quarterbacks here. Like, you could just really take some of these guys late at this point. I'm okay, round 17. So I wouldn't mind one more each position. I think that's what we're looking at here. I think I'm going to take a higher upside guy as opposed to like a high ceiling guy like Tesla. I think that's a good mix to have in these onward drafts. And so I'm going to make my pick. I don't want this JD Dasty guy to snipe me like Kai the guy did recently or over the summer. So I will just wait for his time to run out. I think this guy, I think he might be on auto draft just based on how he's drafting. That was not going to take Dylan Sampson. I'm going to take Sterling Shepard, who kind of promoted to the second receiver role with Evans being hurt, McMillan being hurt. I guess there's Godwin, but I don't really trust Godwin. Really scares me about Godwin is like he wasn't even working out on his foot, his surgically repaired foot, until late in August. And I think they just might be rushing him back because Evans is hurt. And that worries me that he's going to have the same sort of injury that Najee Harris had. Like Najee Harris got cleared to walk in early August. You know, he wasn't clear to walk until early August. And then they played him week 1. No wonder he tore his Achilles like that. Like I love Jim Harbaugh, but that was ridiculous how they treated that situation. Like if I'm Harris, I'd probably just sue the team at this point. And he's not going to do that because he'll never play in the NFL again, just be blackballed. But like the way they did that, the way that they treated his injury and just his recovery was awful. So it's not a surprise at all that he tore his Achilles. That's just really a shame. See, this guy's an auto draft to James Conner. This is why I love this. Like, this is a $20 entry. Like, this is not free. You know, if this is like a free draft like we do in August, it's like whatever. Why would you take James Conner in the 17th round? Like, he's out for the year. He's not going to give you anything. So like, there's some miracle recovery from his torn ACL. Like, it's not going to happen. Yeah, I don't. You know, I was torn Achilles, maybe. Yeah, he's on IR. He's out for the season. He's been ruled out for the season. So why are you wasting a 17th round pick on him? You could take a guy with upside. So I don't understand how some people draft, but whatever. I'll take it because these guys will just give us free money. Okay, I'm gonna take. It's the 18th round. Like I said, I want one more of each position. I already took a receiver. I'm going to take my my 18th round spicy guy who is just someone I always took in the summer anyway. But I did so a little bit earlier. It is Will Shipley, who is still the RB2 there. They traded for Bigsby, but he's going to play special teams. In fact, like AJ Dillon's playing over Bigsby right now. Bigsby didn't register a single stat last week, whereas Dillon did. And Shipley plays over Dillon. So when Shipley comes back, he's going to be the RB2. And I think that's very valuable given how many carries Barkley had. And like Shipley was even doing stuff in the first quarter. I think this is the first half. He had 3 carries for 26 yards. And I don't even think that was a full half. So like you project him to be like 3 point something points per half. That's 7 points per half, you know, or 7 points per game, which like, you know, for the 18th round's fine. But his upside's through the roof because if he becomes the starting running back from Barkley getting hurt, like that is like second or third round production. So you can't really get that with too many players in the 18th round. So I like Shipley there for sure. All right. So let me. So anyway, yeah, like I said, with that Panthers Falcons game, you can't really take anything away from that. Browns 13, Packers 10. The Packers were a no-show as well. Again, this is another example you could point to is like not showing up. Jacobs only 16 for 30. We bet his under rushing total, so that was nice. Golden saw action for the first time, like extensive action, 4 for 52. So I think he's maybe a little underrated. So you can maybe trade for him. The Browns, this is against Green Bay's defense, so weren't really expecting much, although Judkins 18 for 94 and a touchdown. That was really impressive. That my fear with Judkins is that when Flacco is inevitably benched, like teams are just going to be able to load the box on Judkins, so he's just not going to do all that much, but he's certainly impressive. You can see why they drafted him in the second round. Although I kind of wonder why he's not been suspended. Like he and Isaiah Bond, like they had these awful things against them heading into the season, and like it's like okay, you just play. Like what about this domestic violence stuff? I thought players were suspended 6 games for that. Like maybe it's still coming. Like maybe they're still deciding what's going to happen. But I just it's so weird that they could just play. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like maybe you guys have some insight into that, but I really don't understand. So that's something else. Like maybe he's still gonna be suspended later in the year. So that's something else you have to watch out for too. So I'm not eager to take him in these drafts. Just because he plays for a bad team too. So like the Browns are not horrible, but they're still pretty bad. So I don't really want anything like that. Someone took Higbee. What? This stupid guy who's taking a million quarterbacks. He's taking 4 tight ends and 4 quarterbacks. I was going to take Higbee because Higbee has whatever. I was going to, you know what? I'm just going to go with our guy Carson Wentz here, who might remain the starter. We'll see. Anyway, Higbee has Seattle in Week 17. That's why I've been targeting him. Seattle is awful against tight ends. Like they're just truly awful against tight ends. So that's something to consider. If you're doing these drafts like 20th round, I've taken Higbee in the 20th round every time. Just this guy for some reason who needs a million tight ends and a million quarterbacks. He took Higbee in 19th round. I don't know why. All right, we have some questions here. So current receivers of JSN, Tetaroa, and Cup. You don't need Cup. Got offered Brees Hall and Smith for my Kyron. Should I take this to basically replace Kyron and Cup with Brees and Smith? Yeah, I would. I would take Hall and Smith. Yeah, for Kyron. Yeah. I said this earlier in the show. The Jets have the easiest playoff schedule in the NFL, except for maybe the Ravens. Like those 2 teams, such an easy schedule. I would definitely do that. Like Kyron for Hall straight up I think that's pretty even. You're getting Devontae too. Like that's a slam dunk. You're in Alec Ingold and Sky Moore territory with your draft. Yeah, I should do that for the meme. Just take one of them. Maybe not. Start Benson, ETN, or Kamara this week. I also have Hall and Mason starting. Benson has a tough matchup. ETN has an easier matchup. Kamara, I think, has. If Milan, I would. Well, it's tough because Benson plays Thursday. I would hold off on that. I would choose ETN or Kamara. If Matt Milano's out, I would go with Kamara. If Matt Milano's in, I would go with ETN. Just because Milano's such a big deal for that Buffalo defense. Juan asking, should I trade Jonathan Taylor and Addison for Kamara, Pearsall, and Kelsey? No. Kelsey's a non-player at this point. Like he's done. Kamara is. While good right now, remember, he always wears down at the end of the season. He's older. He plays for a horrible team. They might just decide to lower his workload at the end of the year. Because, like, why run a 30-year-old into the ground when he's not your future? And they have to kind of decide what they have in Devin Neal or Kendry Miller. So, no, definitely not. Don't do that. Do not like Kelsey's garbage. Like this point, Kelsey hasn't done anything in 3 years. Like he's had 3 good games in 3 years. Like he stinks. And yeah, like I said, Kamara's old, so I'll definitely take keep your guys. Don't trade those guys. Okay, so we're about to take my last pick. I kind of do want to to take Alec Ingold for the memes, but I don't know if we can do that. So. There's a guy who's questionable here. I want to see his status because I just need a tight end, and we're not usually used to taking someone else here. So, all right, I'm going to take. I don't want to say it out loud. I know, like, no one's sniping me in the 20th round. I'm just going to take Noah Fant. Just because he's the next guy and he's doing a little bit of stuff here, like 6 and 7 points here and there. But I definitely got sniped from Higbee, unfortunately. So that is my draft. I kind of reviewed it already, so I don't really need to. I'm gonna post another draft results later tonight. So. All right, let's get through the rest of these games, and then I'm going to talk about schedule stuff. All right, so we did that. Jaguars 17, Texans 10. Lawrence he kind of stinks, although this is a tough matchup, so I'll cut him a little slack here, but he just locks onto his first read like way too much. He just not seeing the field. He just stinks right now. But as bad as he was, like Stroud throwing those 2 picks against a horrible defense, like he's not getting any blocking, but he's not playing all that well either. Houston's offensive line is just such a mess. Man, Like I wrote on the site today, the Houston's favored by 7 against Tennessee. I don't even know if they can score 7. Their offense is that bad. Nico Collins is really the only one you want here. Dalton Schultz at 39 receiving yards. What do you do? Like Kirk 3 for 25. That's nothing. Like Woody Marks might eventually take over for Chubb, but he still won't have blocking. Chubb's worthless at this point. This team is just so dreadful. It's Collins and nothing else. And for Jacksonville, Thomas once again catches like 30% of his targets or 20% of his targets. Like it's usually between 20 and 35% for him, which is brutal. Like he just not meshing well with Lawrence, which we thought he would. Like he played well with Mac Jones. It's Brenton Strange who's always leading the team in receiving. So Strange is definitely someone to own a tight end if he's available or whatever. But Thomas is a big disappointment. I think he'll eventually emerge. He's just way too talented not to. And then you have this Hunter thing, 1 for 21. The Jaguars had to take a timeout during this game because he didn't know where to line up. And it's like, yeah, of course, because he's not focused on offense all the time. He's studying tape on defense too. Like this is not UCF. They're not playing UCF. They're not playing SMU. They're not playing I don't know, whatever the teams they play. The Cincinnati Bearcats. Like they're not playing these garbage college teams. They're going against Nico Collins. Like it's way too much. I think it's way too much. I think this experiment is not going to end up working well. I think Hunter could still be a really good receiver, but the thought of him playing both ways, I think is just insane at this point. I don't know. I could be wrong. Like whatever, egg on my face if this is wrong. I just doesn't seem like this is going to work out. Vikings 48, Bengals 10. It's our top play of the week that hit. We had 3 5-unit plays. This one was so easy. Wentz, unfortunately, the only thing that went wrong here is Wentz didn't run a lot, but he didn't need to. He was just up by so much. Mason had a huge game, so that's why he's going 302. But remember, Jones will be back at some point. Jefferson kind of got revived here, but he's still going second round in these onward drafts. Hawkinson had life for the first time. Addison will be back this week, so Minnesota's really looking up. And then for the Bengals, it's the opposite. Just Jake Browning is a good backup, but that's all he is. And when he plays against really good defenses, he's just not going to do much, and he's going to commit turnovers. And we saw that in this game. Higgins was a complete waste, 1 for 15. It's just Chase here. The teams are loading the box against Chase Brown, 10 carries, 3 yards. That's awful. He did catch 4 passes though, so if you're in PPR, he could still have some function, but and he's still gonna have good games against bad teams. It's just like when they play good defenses, they're just not going to do much. And they play Denver this week, so good luck, Jake Browning, in that one. Steelers 21, Patriots 14. The Patriots dominated this game from a yardage standpoint. They outgained the Steelers by like 150 yards or something, but they lost because they committed 5 turnovers. I mentioned it earlier how Stevenson fumbled twice, and then Gibson fumbled, and like Henderson ended up leading the team in carries. He also had 3 catches, so this could be the Henderson show in the second half of the year. So he could be a league winner still. Despite the slow start, I still have a lot of faith in him. Boudet only had 2 for 28, but he was targeted in the end zone. The ball just didn't get there. Actually, I think that was one of May's interceptions where the cornerback just kind of jumped the route and got the pick. So Boudet could have had a bigger game. It's just bad luck. So I think this is like his first bad game in like 6 games dating back to last year. Metcalf 3 for 32 and a touchdown. The touchdown saved him. The Steelers just weren't doing much in this game. Like they are not a good team. They're 2-1. They barely beat the Jets, and they got outgained by a lot against the Patriots. I think they're in for a world of hurt against the Vikings coming up in Ireland. Hey, I'm 0-3. Want to shake up my team. I give Bijan and Ladd. I get London and Hampton. Well, I don't know if I'd do that. I think I'd rather have Bijan more than anyone there. And so I think like Ladd and Hampton are like pretty. I think they're both going like 3rd round. Let me check where they went today. Again, this is like a good tool here. Where did Hampton go? Hampton went 307 and Ladd went 312. So like they're pretty even, right? And so the other guy was Bijan, who went 101. He's either going 101 or 102. So he puts in him and Taylor. And who else did you say? You get London. So you're basically trading Bijan. If Hampton and McConker even, you're trading Bijan for London, you're trading 101 for 304. So I don't think that's a good trade to do. Okay. Anyway, let's go. Eagles 33, Rams 26. This sucked, dude. This is one of the worst beats I've ever had. Like, not only did the Rams blow a big lead, they're up 26-7 as a 3.5-point underdog. They were never not covering this game except for when it was 7-0. So they were covering for 57 minutes of this game or something. And even on the last play, they were still covering. And then they blocked the field goal and returned for a touchdown by Jordan Davis. I called him fat imbecile Jordan Davis on the site. That was so stupid on Jordan Davis's part. Like, what if the Rams, what if the Rams come up behind him and snipe and swipe the ball away and pick it up and run for a touchdown? Because everyone is near him. They're all running with him. If a Rams player got the ball, there would have been no one to tackle him. So that was incredibly dumb on his part. And also, what if he drops the ball before the goal line? I've seen that before. It's happened. Jonathan Taylor did that. Who says Jordan Davis couldn't? If he just drops the ball before the goal line, someone picks it up. And again, all the Eagles are up there and there's no one to tackle a Rams player going back. It's just stupid. Just fall on the ball. There's no reason to keep going. So, it's just unfortunate. Just a dumb player made a dumb play, a great play, but a dumb play afterward to kind of cost us here. It just sucks. Anyway, for this game, Barkley's still not running all that well. Down season for him. Hurts had a great game. A.J. Brown finally came to life. He had a separation score of 0. I mentioned that last week. 0 against the Cowboys in week 1. He was clearly not healthy. And then last week he showed a little bit more life, but still not there. This week he finally went off. So looks like the Eagles passing attack is back to what it used to be. It's kind of cool that Brown, Smith, and Goddard all scored touchdowns. With the Rams, you had Nakua had a huge game. Adams caught a touchdown. As usual, Nakua not scoring, but producing yardage-wise. So nothing new there. Kyron Williams, 20 carries compared to Quorum's 8. The Quorum is leading to his workload right now, but I don't know if that's going to last all year. They could be just preserving Williams a little bit. And once they get to the second half of the year, they're just going to run him more. Just keep that in mind. Colts 41, Titans 20. This was a true blowout. The Colts picked 6th Ward right away, just a sloppy pass to the outside, but Ward got better after that. There was some horrible coaching in this game. So if you guys didn't see it, the Colts had a timeout. And then right after that, the Titans felt like they needed to call a timeout. And this is on a field goal attempt. I don't know why. They're calling timeout on a field goal attempt. And then they're coming out of their own timeout, and they have a delay game penalty. And that pushes a 57-yard field goal back to 62. And they missed the 62-yard field goal. So the Tennessee's coaching is just so bad right now. Anyway, Io Manor, solid game. And the reason I said I was more bullish on Io Manor earlier in the show. I can't remember in what context, but Ridley only 1 catch out of 7 targets, and it just doesn't seem like he's meshing at all with Cam Ward. And Ridley is not going to be around next year. His contract is just too bad. So I wonder if he's a trade candidate coming up. So it could be Io Manor as the receiver one here at the end of the year. Pittman continues to look good as long as he's not facing Surtain. Pierce had a catch overturned. Otherwise, he would have had 100 yards. And he suffered a concussion on that play. So, injury to insult. Unfortunately, I love Pierce as a 16th round best ball guy. But I was so excited. I was like, 100 yards. We finally got our game. And unfortunately, it didn't work out. Anyway, Redskins 41, Raiders 24. The Raiders scored garbage time. You'll see Trey Tucker had 3 touchdowns, 8 for 145. I don't think he caught more than 3 passes in any game before this one. So this is not something I think is sustainable. It was just garbage time. Gino was just throwing to him. So I don't think that's going to last. If you have Tucker, if you pick them up, I would try to trade him. Bowers is going to be healthier going forward. Thornton, I think Thornton will go off at some point. He's just too talented not to. It's just Geno doesn't have the time to find him downfield. But you know what? He's going to have time against Chicago. So maybe Thornton makes a big catch here. Genty, we had Genty under 50-something rushing yards. It looked all afternoon that we were going to win that one. And then in garbage time, when it's like, it was like what? It was 41-17. For some reason, they still have Genty in there, and he runs for an 18-yard run. It's like, come on, man! Like, the Redskins stop trying, and he gets over rushing yards. Like, you got to be kidding me! And that wasn't even like in the top 3 of bad beats that we had this weekend. So that was pretty rough. McLaurin got hurt. We talked about that earlier. He might be out 1 week or 2. We'll see. Devo didn't do much, but the Redskins only threw 21 times, so I wouldn't read anything into that. I wouldn't read anything to McNichols 4 for 78 and a touchdown. He just had a carry and he broke free for a 60-yard run. It's not going to happen a lot. So if you have McNichols, I would try to trade him just because this is probably going to be his best game of the year. Buccaneers 29, Jets 27. This was a nice cover for us. The Jets were hanging around for a while, and then the Buccaneers they had a pick 6. And so it looked like they were to cover, but then the Jets came back and they scored a touchdown. Alan Lazard got in there, and then it looked like the game was going to end with the Bucs winning by a couple points. And then Baker Mayfield ran for a 33-yard gain, like randomly, and then they were suddenly in position to kick a front door field goal. But the Jets still had time to get a back door. They needed even a field goal would have done it. The Bucs would have went up 9. The Jets could have kicked the field goal to get to 6, which would have covered. But then the Bucs, they had a 4th and 1, and I thought they were going to go for it, and then they didn't. They took a delay game, so they tried to kick a field goal, and that backfired. As block returned for a touchdown, like truly idiotic coaching by Todd Bowles. Like, you definitely go for it. Like a 4th and 1. It's not like 4th and 5 that Liam Cohen had in week 2. It was 4th and 1. Like, you can pick up a yard in the NFL, especially with Mayfield, Ibuka, Irving. Like, you have enough talent there to pick up a yard against a bad run defense. And they kicked the field goal inexplicably, and it hurt them, but it didn't end up costing the game because Mayfield came back and won at the end. But still, that was it's just horrible coaching there. Taylor, except for that pick 6, he had a solid game. Breece Hall couldn't do anything against Tampa's run defense. We had Hall under. That was one of the easier wins of the week because the Bucs are so good against the run. The last time they allowed a 50-yard runner, like not even 100, a 50-yard runner was I think it was like this early December of last year, 2024. So they're just so good against the run. It's unbelievable. As long as Vita Vea is in there. And by the way, the last runner to get 50 yards, it's truly remarkable. This player, Sincere McCormick, somehow, like they've clamped down on Breece Hall. They've clamped down on Christian McCaffrey. They clamped down on Bijan Robinson, but Sincere McCormick, it just goes off against us. So weird. And Vea may not have played in that game, but it's still funny that way. By the way, Garrett Wilson continues to produce no matter who the quarterback is. He's having a great year, bounce back year for him. And I would try to trade for Wilson just because, as I said before, the Jets have the easiest schedule in the playoffs and easiest schedule overall, as we'll get to in a bit. Okay, let's see here. We have some comments here. It says 0-3 with Bijan. You should be 2-1, at least 1-2. You must have a bad quarterback. Yeah, just keep going with Bijan. Should I trade Javonte Williams and Dak? My other quarterbacks, Mahomes, for Rashee Rice, 12-man PPR. Yeah, I'm pretty down on Dallas. So, yeah, I would try to trade for Rashee Rice. I like that trade for you. Your fat imbecile is thinking Sports Center being on every highlight show. Yeah, look, it's funny. It's really funny because if you think about it this way, it's a good thing for Jordan Davis that he scored a touchdown because that's something else on his stat sheet that he could use for his contract coming up. But it's bad for the team because he could have cost the team a win, And even if he gets stripped, like, yeah, the Eagles are gonna have a loss, but like no one's really gonna remember that, like when he's getting his new contract. I mean, people are gonna remember it in the intermediate, but like once he gets his new deal, once they're negotiating that, like that's not gonna be used against him. So I can get it from his perspective, which maybe kind of like makes the argument that that contracts should be tied to wins. I was actually thinking about that. It's like players should be paid based on how many wins they get, and I think that that would end all players being unfocused. Like that would be the end of it. Players try hard all the time. I would love to see that. The NFLPA will never go for it, just because like the players in the bad teams will not get any money. But I would really like to see something like that where contract values are tied to wins. I have both Seahawks running backs. Other GM has both Patriots running backs. Would you trade Walker for Henderson? How about Charbonnet for Henderson? And if both, which would you rather send? Well, I mean, I like Walker is probably going to get more touches, but he's a bigger injury risk. So I think it's safer to trade Charbonnet for Henderson. But there might be more upside to trade Walker for Henderson. So I personally would trade Charbonnet for Henderson right now, but I don't know your situation. Like if you need to take a big risk, like if you're 0-3, need to take a big risk, then I'd probably trade Walker for Henderson. But if you have a good team, I'd try to trade Charbonnet for Henderson. But I don't know. I mean, you don't really have to trade either. Like you could keep both. They're both getting a lot of workload. So, unfortunate for Terry, hoping for speed. There we go, guys. There we go. Until one in the 3 receiver PPR. Do I do this trade? I get CD, Keenan Allen, and Bucky. I give Nick. You have to help me out. Who's Nick? Kenneth and Charbonnet. Who in the world is Nick? You have to Metro. You have to help me out there. Awesome. Thanks. Yeah. Good luck, Bagley. All right. Next game is we have the Seahawks here. Seahawks 44, Saints 13. The Seahawks scored 2 special teams touchdowns. I thought they could look ahead because they have Arizona in 4 days and they're coming off the win in Pittsburgh, like across the country. But no, they were there. Maybe they pay per win. This is what you would see, pay per win. From teams all the time, just the great teams, just trying their hardest. Kenneth Walker had 2 touchdowns, only 16 for 38. That would have been an interesting conversation with Kenny had he been on. Prayers to Kenny for to his speedy recovery. JSN 5 for 96 in the touchdown. He continues to be great. Horton caught a touchdown, and he also returned a touchdown. That was exciting because we liked him. He was on our sleepers list. Cooper Kupp 2 for 31. This is what you would expect for Kupp for most of the season. He's going to have a couple good games here and there, but for the most part, he's just going to be the same decrepit receiver that we saw at the end of last year. So if you own Kupp, try to trade him. If you can't trade him, then feel free to cut him. And then Chris Olave is just PPR scam at this point. It's kind of sad to see, but that's the situation you have with the Saints quarterback. So 10.57. And unfortunately, it's just a walking concussion at this point. Like he's going to get hurt. We did get Juwan Johnson over receiving yards. He was like 37.5 or something. He had 51. Seattle, as I said before, Seattle is the worst team against tight ends in the NFL. Try to target any tight end against them you can. We couldn't do it week 2 with Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh has a million tight ends. But this week with Juwan Johnson, that was great. Trey McBride plays Seattle. I know you can't like pick up Trey McBride or something, but you can play him in DFS. Like I think he's a really good captain for DFS Showdown Thursday night. So something to keep in mind there. Oh, Nico Collins. Okay. Yeah, I was like, who's Nick? And Nico Collins. All right, let's review this now. Okay, so I get CD. I assume CD Lamb, Keenan Allen, and Bucky. It's like CD Lamb's after 3 or 4 weeks. I give Nico, Kenneth Walker, and Charbonnet. I wouldn't do that. Like if CeeDee Lamb's healthy, yeah, but like he's out for 3 or 4 weeks. I wouldn't do that. No. You get Charbonnet back healthy this week too. And Nico Collins, he finally had a good game. Like I think the week 1 performance is an aberration. I think he'll continue to play well for the most part. So no, I wouldn't do this. I would try to trade one of Kenneth Walker or Charbonnet, but other than that, I wouldn't do this trade. Okay. I see the books are offering Ryder Caboose. Yes. I had my eye on that. I was going to do that tomorrow when I had time. I kind of actually want to check our Royals score. Yeah. Royals are up 8-3. That's nice. So we bet the Royals today for that profit boost they had in DraftKings. I am looking to bet the USA. Europe won last year because it was in Europe. USA, this is in America. Usually the host team has a big advantage, and we get Scheffler, Scotty Scheffler, the best golfer in the world, who was phenomenal for most of the year. Not the Tour Championship for some reason, but I like USA. I'm going to bet USA with the profit boost. Unless I guess I could talk to Butters and Nuggets to see if they have any input, but I don't know if they do. I will make a note of it, but like unless they tell me otherwise, I will be boosting USA. To play for Seattle, they had to play Kittle and Freiermuth. But this is dating back to last year. Last year, Kyle Pitts had his best game of the year against Seattle. Like Seattle for years haven't been able to stop tight ends ever since Bobby Wagner left. Like their linebackers are good against the run, like Ernest Jones, really good run stuffer, but they can't cover in the middle of the field. So this is not just this year. This is last year too. You're welcome, Metro. I traded Judy, who I never started, Addison, who I never started, obviously, and Pollard for Javonte Williams, Ladd, Mike Evans. Do I win or no? Yeah, I mean, look, even if Evans is out for 4 weeks or so, I think you still win because you weren't using those players. And Judy is someone I don't like. I think he's overrated. So, and Pollard might be losing his touches to Spears. So I like this. I like this move for you. Good job, Jason. Okay, start 2, DJ Moore, Pittman, Waddle, Jalen Warren. I think it's Pittman and Warren. Moore is the receiver 2 in Chicago now. Like we expected that. We talked about that all summer. I said all summer, I was like, Odunze is going to be the receiver 1 there. And Moore is taking a step backward. Moore even said himself that he's going to take a step backwards. So this can't be a surprise. And Waddle is the pyramid scheme as we know him here. Waddle's he's just not. He plays in a bad offense, and he's not as good as people think he is. So yeah, I like Pittman and Warren there. How long do you think McCaffrey can keep us current workload before breaking down? It's so tough to predict injuries, and I'm not going to cheer for it, but he has chronic Achilles tendonitis. Like his Achilles are going to wear down. He's going to have a calf injury or an Achilles injury at some point, and it's a shame because he's such a great player. I hope he lasts the whole year, but it doesn't seem like a likely scenario. And the Niners always have these injuries, and I've heard like rumblings that like they don't even stretch. Like that's like part of the problem. It's like they don't really take care of their own bodies on that team for some reason. So that could be a part of it. And it seems like everyone else on the team's getting hurt. Like I just feel like it's just a matter of time. Start 2, Javonte, Swift, and Myers. I think I would start Swift and Myers. Like Javante's no Dallas players doing anything this week against Green Bay. Maybe Pickens in garbage time, maybe Ferguson garbage time, but like there might not even be garbage time this week. It's gonna be a slaughter. That Green Bay Dallas game is gonna be a disaster for Dallas. Complete embarrassment on national TV for Jerry Jones. Start 1, if no Fields this week. Darnold, short week. Geno, Rodgers, 9 a.m. game, or Stafford. Unless you think someone's better in waivers, Dart. I'm not big on Dart. So obviously Fields, but like you said, he's not there. I would go Geno. Bears defense sucks. I know Dak just didn't do much, but he didn't have Lamb. I think Geno bounces back. Rodgers for some reason sucks in Europe, and Stafford has to deal with the cold. So it could be Stafford too. Just I don't know. I think it's Geno. It's close with Geno and Stafford though. Would you trade Sticky Ricky for Sutton? I have Bo Nix, so I want that stack. And if the owner says no, we trade Nix and Ricky for a stack of Murray Harrison. Harrison will be my receiver 4. I think Pearsall and Sutton. I assume Sticky Ricky is Pearsall. They're pretty close. Pearsall has the better schedule, but I think Sutton's the better player. So. It is it's super close. But like if you want the stack, then yeah, sure. We trade Nix and Pearsall for a stack of Murray Harrison. I don't want Arizona stack. Like first of all, Murray's injury prone. Second, Harrison's not doing anything. I know I just spent a 5th round pick on Harrison, but you could note that in this draft, which I'll show you in this for a second, Harrison right here, 505. Look who's not available. Sutton 411, Pearsall 501. I would have taken those guys in a heartbeat over Harrison. So I wouldn't do that trade. So where are we here? Let's see. Nervous when Jennings, Ayuk, and Kittle come back. Well, I don't count on Ayuk coming back. He's not coming back. And Jennings is the second receiver to Pearsall, so I like Pearsall more. Kittle is going to be a big factor, but again, he's 32. Like he might get hurt again. So Pearsall is really good. Awful trade. Addison's the best out of all those. Well, he's the receiver too there though. I do like Addison. So I drop Tracy and pick up either Ali or Corum. I mean, Tracy's hurt, so yeah, I would go with either one of those. I think I'd rather go Corum because he plays in a better offense, but you could really go either. Roger said NFL needs to look into Niners medical staff. They all need to be fired. I think he's probably right. Really. Would you trade Sutton for Hampton? I would rather have Hampton than Sutton, but like maybe you're desperate for a receiver. So if you are, then that's an okay trade, but I'd rather have Hampton. You said Jennings not coming back. No, Ayuk's not coming back. Sorry. Sorry if I mixed that up. Ayuk is not coming back. He might get a game or two at the end of the year, but he's coming off the 20 ACL and MCL. Such a brutal injury. Even if he returns, he's not going to play all the snaps. Like, or he gets hurt again. Like Ayuk is not coming back to his previous form. Jennings will be back, but I don't think Jennings is the receiver 2 compared to Pearsall. Pearsall is the receiver 1. So I'm not too concerned about Jennings. Maybe that's why I said I'm not concerned about Jennings, but Ayuk's not coming back. At least not this year. He'll come back next year, just not this year. Anyway, we have did we finish this game? Yeah. Okay, so Chargers 23, Broncos 20. Justin Herbert, another strong game, definitely working himself into MVP consideration. Najee Harris to start. I talked about this already, like awful coaching by Jim Harbaugh with the Harris situation. Just he should not have been playing until like October. Like he should be coming back like in 2 weeks. Just he didn't practice. He didn't practice. They put him out on the field. Of course, he tears his Achilles. Like it's ridiculous. So anyway, like Quentin Johnston continues to play well. I don't think this is going away. He's finally living up to his billing. Keenan Allen continues to be a factor. This is all taken away from McConkey. Shout out to fantasy football counselor who just is saying this whole summer is like if you're a donkey, draft McConkey. It's just true because McConkey is just taking a backseat to these guys. He'll have some good games here and there, but he's just not doing much. Gadsden looks like a real deal. He was getting some hype in training camp, and he was inactive week 1, but now 5 for 46. He got 2 catches on the final drive. So Herbert trusts him. He is, and you have Conklin there, but Conklin's a blocking tight end. Like Gadsden is the receiving type. So he's someone worth picking up if you need a tight end. Sutton had a great game bouncing back from the Colts game. Dobbins had a great run. Actually, 2 great runs on one drive. Nix is the lowest rated quarterback according to PFF among all the starters. I think that'll change. You know, they've had a tough schedule, like except for week 1. They played the Colts and now the Chargers, and it'll get a lot easier week 4 against the Bengals. So he should bounce back. Bears 31, Cowboys 14. So I had a really good DFS lineup. Like I had a Dunze in there, I had Pearsall in there. I had Jordan Mason. I had I forget who else I had, but my players were all going off. Like they're all doing really well. And of course I had CeeDee Lamb. I had a Dax stack with CeeDee Lamb and Pickens. Of course, like Lamb gets hurt in the first quarter, and like he tries to come back, but like the swelling in his ankles too much, and now he's out for 4 weeks. So Dallas, I think Dallas is now one of the worst teams in the NFL. They're missing 2 interior linemen, Tyler Booker and Cooper Beebe, and Lamb's out for 4 weeks or so. They already had an epically bad defense. Like they allowed Russell Wilson to throw for 450 in week 2. They allowed Caleb Williams to have his best performance of his career. They're just so bad defensively without Parsons. It's a joke. This whole team's a joke. They're going to get embarrassed Sunday Night Football. It's going to be so fun to watch. But anyway, I think you might be looking at Burden 3 for 101 and touchdown. That was like a 65-yard trick play. It's like all trick plays with Burden. Like it's not real stuff right now. Zacchaeus is playing over him. I think that could change in the second half of the year. So if you have a deep roster, you could definitely carry Burden on it. But if it's like a normal league, I really don't see how there's space for him. But yeah, Odunze, another great game. Moore did catch a touchdown, but he's definitely second fiddle to Roman Duze at this point. And by the way, Jake Ferguson, he's going to take all the intermediate stuff with Lamb out. So he's going to go nuts here. So if you could trade for Ferguson if you feel like you need a tight end boost for like the next 4 weeks or something, Ferguson's definitely the way to go. 49ers 16, Cardinals 15. This is just another horrible beat that we had. Not only does Bosa get hurt, but the Niners took a sack from the 6-yard line somehow. Like I don't think I've ever seen the team take a safety from the 6-yard line. It's just so brutal. McCaffrey, great receiving game, nothing on the run. Arizona's run defense has been good this year, so maybe that's the reason for that. Pearsall 8 for 1 for 17. He's really good, so glad to get him on all most of my fantasy teams. Trey Benson is taking over for Connor. Connor's out for the year, unfortunately. So Benson is obviously he's the pickup of the week. He's owned in half of leagues, so he's probably not available in yours. But if he is, definitely pick him up. Although this upcoming game against Seattle is going to be rough for him because he's going against a really good run defense. In fact, like if you pick up Benson, I think I would trade him. Just because he's going to have a bad game against Seattle, and then like you're not going to have much value for him. And what if he gets hurt? It's a Thursday game. Like players get hurt all the time on Thursday. I would try to trade Trey Benson if you pick them up, or even if you had him beforehand and you're like, yeah, I hit the lotto here. If you can get something really good for Benson, I think I would do it. Let's see here. Would you do Jordan Mason for Kyron and MHJ? Yeah, I would. Just because if Aaron Jones is out for the year, that's a different story, but he's not. Like Mason is going to be the starter for the next 3 or 4 weeks, but Aaron Jones will be back in the second half of the year, and then you're just going to be stuck with a committee. So Kyron's not really a part of a committee. As I said before, like he's going to get more of the workload the second half of the year, and then MHJ is a buy low. So yeah, I would definitely do that. Do I trade Lamar Jackson for Baker / Josh Jacobs? Lamar has such an easy schedule at the end of the year. Just keep that in mind. And the Packers do not. The Packers have a tough schedule, so I think I'd rather have Jackson, honestly. Yeah, I'd rather have Jackson. It's a close trade. If you are desperate for a running back, like you have nothing going on, then yeah, I consider it. But I'd rather have Jackson. Just that schedule's so easy at the end. Okay, so we have 2 more games. Chiefs 22, Giants 9. Russell Wilson has been benched, just mercifully benched. He was so bad. Tyron Tracy got hurt. Cam Scatterbo looked like Mike Allstott. He was awesome. And then Malik Neighbors, he almost got concussed from a Wilson deep ball. So I think that may have played a factor in him getting benched. But Wilson was terrible overall. Like there's a million reasons to bench him. And hopefully Neighbors doesn't have too many more games like this because Wilson can bring out the best of him as we saw week 2, but he can get the worst from him too. Mahomes turned Tyquan Thornton into a thing. I drafted him tonight. If you guys didn't see, I took him in, what was it, like the 14th round. So I think he's worth a look. Definitely, if he's available, he's going to be inconsistent, but he's going to have some high upside. Travis Kelce's done 4 for 26. He's just cooked right now. Pacheco and Hunt continue to share carries. I don't know why. Pacheco's clearly better, but I don't really understand what's going on there. And then we have Lions 38, Ravens 30. Lions literally the best in the NFL right now. For some reason, they don't regress at all, despite losing 2 coordinators, 2 interior linemen, and some defenders from last year. Montgomery went nuts in this game, 151 and 2 touchdowns. This is going to be his best game of the year, so feel free to trade him. Gibbs, I took him at 105 tonight, so I expect him to have a big year. Amon-Ra St. Brown, strong game. Jameson Williams had like 43 yards early and just didn't do anything after that. Just unfortunate for him. Laporta, another mediocre game for him. It's kind of like what you should expect out of him. And so Henry, 12 for 50 and touchdown. Detroit has the number 1 run defense in the NFL, so that would explain his low yardage total. but he did fumble again. He's fumbled 3 times so far this year, starting to become a problem. Maybe he bounces back. We'll see. Andrews, speaking of bouncing back, 6 for 91 and 2 touchdowns. We had his under receiving total, which was clearly a loser. Yeah, I don't know where this came from. He didn't have more than 5 receiving yards in any game this year. He went crazy. So good. It's good to see that he's still a functional player. He's not even 30 yet. So, or maybe he just turned 30, but like either way, he still has something left in the tank unlike Travis Kelce. And then Rashad Bateman, undervalued, I thought, 5 for 63 and a touchdown. I've been targeting him like round 13, round 14 in these onward drafts, just because I usually get Jackson and I want to pair him with Bateman. And then, of course, the easy schedule that we talked about. So, speaking of easy schedules, we'll get that in a second, but we have some questions here. Let's see, 12-man, half PPR, May, Chase Brown, Pollard, Adunze, JSN, Bowers, Juwan, Golden, Packers, Packers kicker, Packers defense, bench, Caleb, Tootin, CD, my RS spot. Is there a question to touch this? Okay, so waivers going, Trey Tucker and Woody Marks. Players available, Woody Marks, Gainwell, Rodriguez, McNichols, Miles Sanders, Algier, Quorum, Doodle, Hassan Haskins, Ford, Singletary, Trey Tucker, Turpin, Tolbert, Downs, Shepard, Mims, Bateman, Parker, Washington. So let's look at the rest of your roster. So I don't really see anyone I would cut. I don't know if there's more bench players, but looks like there's not too many bench spots in your league. Now, I don't necessarily think you need to carry 2 quarterbacks. So you could cut Caleb Williams or try to trade him. You could probably try to trade him now off that big game that he had. But I usually don't like to carry 2 quarterbacks personally. But I wouldn't draft Tootin or JCM. So for anyone available, but if you do trade / cut Caleb, then I think the best you could probably do is either Algier, Quorum, or Trey Tucker. I would try to get, if you do get Trey Tucker, I'll try to trade him just because he just had the best game of his season. That's not going to happen again. He's not that good of a player. So he has a high value right now just because people they can't remember past the previous week. So I think in order, I'll try to go Tucker, Algier, Quorum, and if you get Tucker, I'll try to trade him. So that is what I would do. So this MF got a Packers and Bears helmet behind him. So this is so these actually there's more to this. I don't know if I can show this to you. So there's more. There's more helmets down there. There's an Eagles helmet. There's a Saints helmet, Packers and Bears helmet. Those are all autographed helmets. Let me get this right here. Those are all autographed helmets. The Eagles helmet, unfortunately, that's the worst one, Carson Wentz. But my Saints helmet is autographed by Drew Brees. My Bears helmet is autographed by Dick Butkus. And my Packers helmet is autographed by Aaron Rodgers. And the basketball there, it's the best one, it's autographed by Kobe Bryant. So I'm not a Packers or a Bears fan. I just like why do you have both? So it's just the memorabilia I have. No Kings movement hit Henry. Yeah, Henry is pretty bad. With his fumbles, at least. Packers Broncos teaser seems free. Yes, I think so. I think you're right. However, teasers are not free because you have to pay a lot of VIG, but that probably seems like the winner. Let's see. 2 open. 2 open. Okay, yeah. So in that order, what I say, Trey Tucker, then Algier, and then Quorum in that order. Should I trade Mike Evans and Swift for Monty and Pickens? Don't. I was about to say don't take Monty because he's overrated right now, but then Evans is injured and Swift is it's not much. I would rather have the Monty and Pickens side. If I'm not sure which one you got, but I'd rather have the Monty and Pickens side. Definitely keeping both quarterbacks playing matchup. Okay, I mean May is such an easy schedule, so it's usually just going to be May anyway. Put it back over the season. Well, it's from Drew Brees, right? Drew Brees never had the bags there, so. It doesn't feel right with Drew Brees, right? How much for the Rodgers helmet? That was a gift. I didn't buy any of these except for I bought the Kobe, the basketball one. I didn't buy any of those. Those are all gifts I got from my dad and other people. So I didn't buy. I don't know. I don't know how much they're worth, but they're pretty cool to have. I wish I could display all of them. I'm kind of makeshift situation here in my basement. I used to be in my second floor, which was my office, but then my son was born, and then my daughter was born, and now I've been transported to the basement, kind of like the guy from Office Space, the stapler guy. So I don't even have a stapler either. I say Rogers might go. Yeah, Rogers. That's a cool gift to get for sure. Okay, so let's look at the schedules here. Thank you, Slew, by the way. Slew sent this over. So Slew calculated the strength of schedule remaining. So this is not this is ignoring weeks 1 through 3. This is week 4 onward, and it is based on my my classification for these teams, whether they're Group A through Group F. For those of you who don't know, Group A is the elite teams, Group B is the good teams, Group C is average, Group D is bad, Group F is the horrible teams. And so Slew assigned points based on how many of these groups each team plays. So the toughest schedule belongs to the Vikings, unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because I have some futures bets on them. Vikings, they have, although I will say this, the Vikings have an easy playoff schedule. Let me pull that up real fast, just in case I'm not making that up. Vikings schedule. So they definitely have some tough opponents like Brown. They're the Browns coming up and whatnot. Their playoff schedule looks like it's gonna be Cowboys, then Giants, and then Lions. So that's for at least passing wise, that seems great. Running wise, you have the Lions run defense, but still great schedule overall for the playoffs. But for overall, Vikings have the toughest schedule than Cowboys. We know the Cowboys had a tough schedule because that was one of the reasons why we bet their under win total, because they had a brutal schedule and they still do. Steelers, bad news for them. They should not. They could easily be 0-3 right now. Giants, yeah, this we bet their under total as well because of this. Giants tie for the Eagles for 4th place. Eagles can beat anyone, so that's like less relevant. Still, Bears are in 6th place, so they're not going to get as many easy games as they had against the Cowboys or even the Raiders this week. So maybe after the Raiders game is when you want to try to unload some Bears players. 7th place, we have the Bengals. Unfortunately for the Bengals, it's like Jake Browning. He needs easy opponents. He can't deal with these elite defenses, unfortunately. And then tied for 8th, we have Lions, Texans, and Redskins. We knew the Lions had a tough schedule. We knew it's Texans did. Redskins, the same division as the other tough team. So nothing like too surprising there outside of like Vikings being like purely number one. That's like, which is a weird dynamic because they had such an easy schedule at the end. But like I guess weeks 4 or 5, I guess weeks 5 through 14, just pretty brutal for them. Let's look at the easiest schedules. So the Jets and the Bills tie for the easiest schedules. I said before that the Jets have probably the easiest schedule in the NFL in the playoffs for fantasy. Let me pull that up because once again, I should probably just show you. There. So the Jets, they play in the playoffs. They play the Jaguars and then the Saints and then the Patriots. So that is super easy. And let me get to the Ravens because I talk about the Ravens a lot too. Ravens schedule at the end is they get for 2 of them at least. They get the Bengals and then they get the Patriots. So super easy. Unfortunately, they get the Packers in the championship. But, if you get to the championship, you'll take it, right? So winning these games, that is what I'm most concerned about. So anyway, we have but Jets have the easy schedule, definitely. So Jets and Bills, easiest schedule overall. Again, we knew the Bills had an easy schedule. That's why we bet their over win totals. Saints, 3rd easy schedule, but not really relevant because they don't really have too many relevant fantasy players, but still maybe you can stream some of them if you have injuries. Patriots, 4th easy schedule. So that's what I was talking about with Drake May. Like, you're not going to bench Drake May too often because he has such an easy schedule. Titans, 5th. So I thought about like maybe betting Titans over wins just because they're 0-3 right now. But they have they played 3 tough opponents so far. They played Denver, they played Indianapolis, and they played the Rams. 3 really tough opponents. So like no wonder they're 0-3. But when they get easier opponents, then they might be able to rattle off some wins. So I don't know exactly what their win total is, but if it's like It's like 4.5. Might as well look at it, right? We have some time here. So let's see. NFL. Get rid of this stuff here. NFL win totals. Let's check out the Titans real fast. It is looks like over 3.5 is minus 150. I think that's worth a shot, right? Over 4.5 is plus 135. Maybe like ladder it. Like maybe bet most of your stuff on over 3.5, and then a little bit over 4.5. Because let's see their schedule. Let's make sure here. Let's count out like possible wins for the Titans. So, all right. So they played the Texans this week, and like the Texans are horrible offensively. Like so. They could maybe split with the Texans. They split with the Texans last year, so they could do it again. They have Arizona, not impossible. They have the Raiders, which they're not going to be that much of an underdog. They have the Patriots at home, definitely winnable. The Colts is going to be another loss. Chargers is going to be a loss. Texans, talk about them. Seahawks, they're at home. I think Seattle probably wins that game. So they have 2 games against Jacksonville. They have Cleveland. San Francisco could be really banged up here, given that they don't stretch. Chiefs will be a loss, but they have the Saints here too, and then the Jaguars at the end. So that I feel like they could win 4 games out of these. It feels like a decent value. I'll ask Evan about it and Andy and see what they say. But I mean, Evan especially bets live win totals as the season goes on. So I think that's pretty interesting. Okay, so who do I prioritize? Woody Marks, Josh Downs, Trey Tucker, or Kraft? If you really need a tight end, Kraft. If you don't need a tight end, Trey Tucker, and then I would try to trade Trey Tucker just because he just had his best game and he carries a lot of value. So I actually don't like Trey Tucker that much, but I think you could trade him for something decent. And then should I be starting Herbert over May? It depends on the matchups. Like, this past week, I would have said May over Herbert just because Herbert was playing Denver and May had an easy matchup against the Steelers. They're pretty close to play matchups, but if that's close too, then I would say Herbert over May. So I would lean Herbert over May, but it's more matchup based than it would be if like you had like Lamar Jackson or something. Like you would always start Lamar Jackson no matter what, for example, or Josh Allen. But Herbert and May is pretty close where you just look at matchups, I think. But like I said, if it's very close, then Herbert. Okay, let's look at the rest of the easiest 10 here. So we have 6 here so far, and then the next 4. So we have Colts, Panthers, Ravens, and Falcons. So we bet the Ravens over win total too, just as it looked like they had an easier schedule than most top teams except for the Bills. And they're 1-2 right now, but I'm not sweating it. They're 1-2 after 3 games last year too, and they ended up winning 13 games. So they'll get their act together. They're too good not to. The Colts look great. Panthers, Panthers and Falcons, like that division's so bad. So of course they all play each other. So they're definitely going to have some easier games. So it's not a surprise to see them on the list too. So. The other teams here, you have in the middle of the pack, you have Packers, Chiefs, Rams, Raiders, Broncos, Jaguars, Seahawks, Cardinals, and then Browns, Chargers, Dolphins, Buccaneers. So, so thank you to Slew for sending this over. It's definitely a help, and maybe we got a good bet out of it with Tennessee over win total. I think maybe Jets over win total as well. I think it's 5.5. I think Vegas knows that the Jets have a very easy schedule because they have the easiest one, but I don't think they're really caught on to the Titans have an easy schedule too. So I'll ask Evan about that on Thursday. Jets over and Titans over. So although I think like Evan was really down on the Jets entering the season anyway, so he'll probably say no to that. But 3.5 for the Titans seems very manageable, even at minus 150 big. So. It's pretty good. Rest of the season, Tyreek, Sutton, Ladd, Pearsall. I love Sutton. Tyreek seems like a little wash at this point. Not completely, but he's definitely on the downswing. Ladd McConkey, there's just way too many mouths to feed with the Chargers. He'll have some big games, but he'll also have some duds too. So just prepare for that. And Pearsall has to deal with Kittle coming back, although I said before, like Kittle's 32, so he can get hurt again. So I think in order here, I think I would go Sutton, then Ladd, then Pearsall, then Tyreek. So hope that helps, Anton. I mean, a question: should I drop who should I drop for Benson? Tootin, Addison, or Higgins? Man, Higgins is a rough drop. If you took him like round 3, man, that's pretty rough. But in fairness, I don't think he's going to do all that much for the rest of the year. We just saw that the Bengals have what was it? They have it's up here. The Bengals have the 7th toughest schedule. So Browning's not going to do much there against that schedule. So, man, that's it's a tough pill to swallow with Higgins, but I think I would do it. It's either him or Tootin. I wouldn't drop Addison. He waited this long for him to come off suspension. Now you can drop him. Like, don't do that. So, like, Tootin has so much upside going forward, you know. So, man, I think it is Higgins. That's crazy, but I think it is Higgins. Who should I pick up for Corum, Tootin, Sharp? Who should I pick up? I mean, all of them if you can. I don't know what your bench looks like, but they all are great pickups. Charbonnet should definitely be owned. Like, he's splitting touches with Walker down the middle, and he's healthy now. He's practicing fully. So, yeah, Charbonnet I think in order, I would go Charbonnet, then Tootin, then Corum. That's what I would do. I think you're right. Thanks for yeah, you're welcome. Good luck, Juicy. So yeah, that's we're up on 2 hours. So I talked straight for 2 hours. It was just not easy to do. So but yeah, when you get a lot of questions in here, it does make it easier. So thank you guys so much for watching and commenting. Really appreciate it. Good luck with your waivers and your fantasy going forward, and all your betting stuff. Hope you have better luck than I do with all these bad beats. Let's hope our luck turns around. Hopefully that happens. And in case I forget, you guys, please remind me on Thursday to talk to Evan about the Titans and Jets over win totals. So please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit walterfootball.com for tons of content. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.